I'm ElyJoz, and you are now in tune to Mind Clarity. Today we'll be talking about living an accountable life, or how to live with the highest level of accountability in your life, or to raise the accountability level in your life in general. The first step you would have to do is blame everything on you. Like, tell yourself everything is your fault. Now, it might sound crazy, but this is actually the best way to go about things. Because once you take that initiative and once you accept that everything is your fault, then in your life, in general, in your life, not everything that happens to you is your fault. Yes, something that happened to you can be your fault, but not everything that happened to you is your fault. Shit happens. So really have an understanding of what you can blame for yourself and what you can't. But literally blame everything on yourself. Everything is your fault. Tell yourself that everything is your fault. Now, the catch to this is you have to take the accountability or take the blame and put it on yourself, but do not take the emotions that come with it. Because once you start taking accountability or once you start blaming everything on yourself, you might feel down. You might feel stupid. You might feel naive. You might feel like you're not focused, or you might feel like you're unaware. You might feel a lot of things. A lot of emotions is going to come to you once you start living with accountability. So understand that you have to take the accountability, but leave the emotions. You feel me? Because if you take the emotions, you're going to start beating yourself up about it. And you're not supposed to beat yourself up about it. You're supposed to hold yourself accountable without the emotions or without the feelings. So tell yourself that everything is your fault, but remove the emotions so you can have the best clear vision of how to go about things now that everything is your fault. You feel me? Because if you don't detach yourself from the emotions, or if you don't remove the emotions from the accountability, you're soon, or you will definitely make the wrong decisions. Because once you start taking accountability of your life, you're going to try to speed up the process of making your wrongs right. Or you're going to place yourself in a position where you're tiptoeing or you're scared to do things because now everything is your fault. You feel me? Because in all honesty, if everything is my fault, I'm not going to want to fuck up. So I might just start tiptoeing. But a lot of people tiptoe out of life, or a lot of people tiptoe through life because they have too much emotions, or they have too much care, or they have too much attachment to the outcome. Yes, the outcome is your fault because you get what you put in. But at the same time, if you hold that emotion for too long, you're going to start moving like a baby. You're going to start tiptoeing like you're walking on eggshells. You feel me? So the catch is you have to live an accountable life. Take the accountability without the emotions, because the emotions will push you in the shell. Or living like you're not able to fuck up. You can fuck up, but understand you fucked up because you fucked up. Life didn't fuck up. You fucked up. That's taking accountability, but don't beat yourself up about it. Remind yourself to not beat yourself up about it. Because once you start taking accountability in life, you're going to start feeling certain feelings. It's going to start touching different nerves. You feel me? It's going to start making you think differently. It's going to change your perception. So understand, you're not supposed to beat yourself up about it. You're just supposed to take the accountability. Now, what do I mean by everything is your fault? Literally everything that happened to you is your fault. If you missed a bill payment, it's your fault. Let's say somebody crashed into your car. It's probably your fault, because if you was aware, you could have avoided that crash. Let's say somebody steals from you. It's your fault, because if you was aware, you would have probably avoided that. You feel me? Everything is literally your fault. Because when people's lives are going good, they take the blame for it, or they take the achievement like, yeah, my life is going great because I put in the work. My life is going good because I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm on my shit. But when life starts going bad, they try to blame life. No, you're supposed to take accountability for the good and the bad. Don't start pointing fingers once your life starts going bad, because you're lowering the level of accountability in your life. You feel me? Even if your life is going great and something unexpectedly happens, it's still your fault, because you could have avoided it if you was more aware. Trust me, there's a lot of times in life that random things happen to you and you feel like it's random, but it's all because of something you didn't do from the past or from beforehand. Something you could have did beforehand could have prevented this unexpected thing that just happened. Because just because it's unexpected to you, that doesn't mean it's not and a result of something that you didn't do. Sometimes people don't do things and then something unexpectedly happen and they feel like, oh my God, it's life, or it's just a coincidence, or it's this. But in reality, if you would have did something beforehand, it could have prevented it from happening. You feel me? That's why I say everything is your fault, even unexpected things, because you could have did something to prevent it. And this might take a toll on your mind or your mental health. That's why I said detach yourself from the accountability and the emotion. Because once you start taking accountability and start living an accountable life to the highest level, it's going to take a toll on your mental health. Like I said in the beginning, yes, there's things in life that you can't control, but you can control how you respond to it or how you go about things. But for you to find the best way to go about things, you have to have that level of accountability on high. Because if you don't, you're just going to do something and be like, okay, life did this to me. I ain't do this. I could do whatever I want, or I can go about things however I want because life did this. I didn't do this. But even if life did it to you because you did something. That reaction came from your previous actions. That event that happened came from something you did beforehand. Like, literally, everything is connected. Nothing is really a coincidence, Everything happens for a reason. It's just you have to have that mindset to be able to find that reason. Or you don't even need to find the reason. You can just put the blame on you, find the best way to go about things, and continue living life. Hold yourself accountable. Become more aware in your life, and a lot of more things won't happen. The more awareness you have in your life, the less unexpected things will happen. And when unexpected things happen, you live in an accountable life, you will know for sure that this is not your fault. This is the universe, or this is God, or this is your creator. But if you do not live a personal, accountable life, if you do not hold yourself to a certain level of accountability, you will always blame life. And you won't know if life did it or if you did it. You feel me? I'm not saying everything is your fault, but have that mindset that everything is your fault. So you can have the best way to go about things. And so you can have that clear understanding that what the fuck just happened is not my fault, because I am very aware in my life and I hold myself accountable for everything that I do. So whatever the fuck just happened, it's the universe doing, or it's the God doing, or it's the creator doing. But you will never have that clear understanding until you live a high, accountable life. Feel me? Hold yourself to a level of accountability that's so high to the point where you understand if something unexpected happened, you can be like, damn, is this my fault, or is this God, or is this the universe? And you will get to a point where you have that high level of understanding, but first you have to blame everything on yourself. And it will take a mental toll on you, so understand that you're supposed to take the accountability, but do not take the emotions or the feelings that come with it. Because it will mess up your mental health once you start taking accountability for everything in your life. Like, literally everything. Anything that happens, anything that don't happen. But yeah, to go into a deeper level of understanding how everything is your fault, understand that even if something happened outside of your control, accept it. You feel me? Then remind yourself that, this could have been prevented if I was more aware, or if I held myself accountable to my previous actions. You feel me? Because your previous actions is the result of the reactions that you're getting out of life right now. The life that you live in now is due to the actions you took a year ago, or a couple months ago, or a couple days ago. You feel me? So if you really hold yourself accountable, it'll be easier for you to reach the level that you're trying to reach in life in general, because you understand that the actions that you're doing today determines the reactions that you get tomorrow. Feel me? And the life that you're living right now, you got from the actions that you did previously. So understanding that the thing that just happened outside of your control could have been prevented if you was more aware. You have to become more aware. And the best way to become more aware is holding yourself accountable, because the more you hold yourself accountable, the more you're going to think things through before you do it. Because you understand, if you're holding yourself accountable and something goes wrong, it's because you didn't think something through, or you didn't put a thought process through, and you just did something just to do it, or you didn't do it with the right mindset. And another thing about being aware and holding yourself accountable is telling yourself that this random thing that just happened outside of my control, I probably could have prevented it, or I probably could have not put myself in a position for it to happen. And an example would be like, if somebody does you wrong and you feel like you've been very good to them, you've probably been too good to them. You feel me? You probably could have prevented that and not put yourself in that position if you was aware, or if you was holding yourself accountable. There's a lot of things that other people do to us that's not in our control. I mean, you can't control what other people do to you. You can only control the position you put yourself in and how you react to what they do to you. So understand that if you was more aware, if you held yourself more accountable for every action or for everything in your life, you probably could have not been in that position for that person to do you wrong. You giving somebody more power over you is poor awareness, and it's poor judgment, and it's not holding yourself accountable, because if you held yourself accountable, you would know that you are over this person. So whatever this person is doing, it's my fault. You feel me? The only reason why this person can disrespect me is because I put myself in this person's presence. If you didn't place yourself in this person's presence, they would not be able to disrespect you. You might have a person that wants to sneak joke with you every time you're hanging out with them, but if you tell yourself, like, the only reason why this person is able to be shady towards me is because I put myself in their presence, that's holding yourself accountable. You don't have the control of what the person is going to do to you, but you can control yourself from not being in that position for them to do you wrong. So hold yourself accountable to the point where you know you could have prevented this by not placing yourself in the position for it to happen. You know, a lot of things happen because you placed yourself in the position for it to happen. And that comes with poor awareness, and that comes with not holding yourself accountable. So stop pointing the finger to anybody that does you wrong. Ask yourself, why do you keep going back to that person that keeps doing you wrong? Because you keep putting yourself in a position for them to keep doing you wrong. You're blaming them for doing you wrong, but you're not blaming yourself for putting yourself in that position for them to keep doing you wrong. You feel me? Stop pointing the finger. And I know you heard the saying that every time you point one finger, 3 is pointing back to you. Feel me? I can point the finger at you, but these 3 is pointing back to me. So regardless if you live an accountable life or not, the fault is yours. Like, it's your fault what's happening in your life right now. Like, there's nobody else's fault. It's your life. It's your fault. Literally, it's your fault. It's your life. It's your life. It's your fault. Because somebody else's actions can't affect your life unless you allow it. You feel me? And like I said, yes, there's things that happen that's outside of your control. But if you did not place yourself in that position, if you was more aware, you could have prevented it and not placed yourself in that position for it to happen. You feel me? There's people that get into car accidents on the highway and they be like, damn, something told me to take the regular road. Why didn't I listen? You're unaware and you're not holding yourself accountable to the highest extent, to the highest level. Because if you did and you had a gut feeling that told you take the regular road, you would be like, I'm going to take the regular road because if something happened, it's my fault. You feel me? If you don't listen to your intuition, it is your fault. Because if you did, that would have never happened. And you wouldn't be in a position to get in that accident if you would have listened to your intuition that told you to take the regular road. But no, you want to take the highway because you're like, you know, that's just something in my head. But if you held yourself accountable and the intuition thought comes in and you're like, now something just told me don't take the highway. If I take the highway, it's my fault if anything happens. So I'm going to just take the regular road. That's how you really prevent things. That's how you really remove yourself from places or positions for bad things to happen to you. You know, bad things keep happening to you because you keep placing yourself in position for bad things to happen to you. Feel me? Life is not going to stop being bad to you if you don't become more aware, or if you don't hold yourself with a more accountability. If you're just living life on cruise control, anything could happen. If you're just living life with your head to the sky, and you're just like, la la, anything could happen. And you're just going to keep blaming life until you really look at yourself and be like, man, this happened because of me. Even if I couldn't control what happened, I could have probably prevented it. I could have not put myself in a position for it to happen. And that brings more awareness, that brings better judgment, and that raises the level of accountability in your life. Really understand that. And another way to raise the level of accountability in your life is always remind yourself that the old you is still inside of you. If you slip up, the old you will come out. You feel me? If you're trying to change, if you're on a journey to change yourself and better your life, always remind yourself that the old you is still inside of you. You can easily slip up and go back to that bad habit or that bad character trait or that mean personality or whatever, that bad energy. But if you're trying to change and be positive and be better in life in general, remind yourself that the old you is always inside of you. The person that you got rid of didn't really go nowhere. It just got overpowered by the new person that you're becoming. So if you stop giving that power to the new person and you slip up and you think just because you became a new person, you can't go back to the old you, you might just go back to the old you. So you reminding yourself that the old you is still inside of you, and if you slip up, it could go back to the old you. That's raising your level of accountability. And certain things in life will come to you to test your level of accountability or to test your level of awareness. You're trying to change. Things in life might come to you to prevent that change, or to see if you really change, or to see if you really focused on that change for real, or you just talking about it. Like, are you doing the work, or are you just talking about it? So if you slip up and go back to the old you, don't blame life. A lot of people, when they start changing, something happened and they blame life. Like, man, I was on a good track, I was doing my thing, and then life hit me with something and I went back to the old me, or I went back to my bad habits. No, that's not life. That's you. You did not hold yourself accountable. You did not remind yourself that the old you is still inside of you. And if I slip up, the old me could come out. You feel me? That's why you got to stay focused. You got to stay living in that accountable mindset, because it keeps you focused. It keeps you sharp. You feel me? It keeps you aware. It betters your judgment. It betters your life in general. But if you do not feel like the old you is still inside of you, then you're just going to be living life like nothing could happen to you. But in reality, if you slip up, your old you is going to come out. And it's not going to be pretty, because everything has the same level of good and bad. If you was a bad person and you change to be a good person, and if you slip up to being a good person and go back to being a bad person, that high level of good that you reached is going to go back to being bad. And it might just double, it might just triple. So understand that it's easier to become a bad person once you start being good, because one bad move or one slip up could fuck up your whole life, and it could bring you back to the old life that you worked so hard to get away from. But you could prevent that by reminding yourself and holding yourself accountable for every action that you do. And that goes into another way of living an accountable life, or raising your level of accountability to the highest point. You have to live like every decision matters, or every decision could be a make or break it. You feel me? Like I said, if you slip up, you might go back to the life that you was working so hard to get away from. So you have to live life like every decision matters. Every decision is either bettering my life or it's making worse. Every decision is going to make it or it's going to break it. Ask yourself, is this decision that I'm about to do, is it bettering my life, or am I just doing it just to do it? Feel me? And a lot of times you could do something just to do it, just to have fun, and it fucks your whole life up. But it's your fault, because you did not hold yourself accountable, nor did you make a proper judgment to the decision that you're about to make. So you really have to live life like every decision is a make it or break it. This could be the $1 million decision, or this could be a $1 million debt decision. This decision could be the one that brings a trophy home, or this decision could be the one that loses the game. And that's not you living on eggshells. That's just you really holding yourself accountable and really taking precaution. And you really being aware that this decision is my decision. Feel me? The more you live an accountable life, you will understand that every decision is your decision. Even if you're influenced by somebody else, you allowed them to influence you, and you still made that decision. At the end of the day, you have the last say-so in your life. You have the last yes or no. So regardless if you're influenced by some outside things, you have to come to a conclusion inside of yourself and be like, yes, I'm going to do this. No, I'm not going to do this. A lot of people allow outside things to influence their decisions so they could have someone to blame. It's easy to point a finger at somebody, and it's harder to blame it on yourself. Because if you just point a finger at somebody, that kind of takes away the weight that's on your shoulders, or that kind of takes away the level of shame, or the level of embarrassment, or the level of, damn, I could have did better, But if you pointing the finger at somebody else, you could easily say, I'm not doing better because that person made me do this, or that person made me do that, or that person influenced me to do that. But in reality, you allowed them to influence you. So you're not holding yourself accountable. You're just ready to point a finger. You feel me? So you really have to live life like every decision matters. Every decision is a make it or break it. Every decision is $1 million decision or it's a $0 decision. And I'm not going to say you're going to live a perfect life, but having that mindset is perfect because you're holding yourself accountable. You're always going to have a clear understanding that I could have prevented this or I could have not put myself in a position for this to happen. How can I go about this in the best way? Feel me? And also remind yourself that you're supposed to take the accountability, but you're not supposed to take the emotions that come with it. But yeah, live life like every decision matters. Everything is a make it or break it. This decision could take you to the moon or it could bury you in the ground. Literally. Any decision. Because people don't really understand that you could really lose your life in a snap of a second. Or you can really change your life in a snap of a second. You could wake up a millionaire, or you could wake up $1 million in debt. You could wake up happy with one decision, or you could wake up miserable with one decision. You're literally one decision away from your dream life or the life you have always been fearing. So understand that you have to live life like every decision matters, bro. That is 100% true. Another way to really raise your level of accountability in your life is accept that you're not living the life that you want to live because of your poor action taking or because you don't really want it. Because if you really wanted it, you would take the proper actions beforehand. I mean, a lot of people wait until their life is miserable to try to change their life. But if you would have just took the proper actions beforehand, you would not be in this rut or you would not be stuck in the phase that you're stuck in right now. Because, like I said, the actions you took beforehand led you to the life that you're living right now. So accept that you're not living the life that you want to live because you did not take the actions you were supposed to take. Accept that you probably have poor action taking, or you probably have poor judgment, or you probably don't know what's the best action for you to take. You have to accept that. You have to put that blame on yourself. You feel me? You can't blame your parents, or you can't blame your upbringing because you reach a certain point in life where you are able to make the decisions in your life. You're able to reprogram your mind and your life. You feel me? You can't keep blaming others for the things that happen in your life. It's your life. If you don't like how somebody is treating you, remove them from your life or remove yourself from their life. And that's another thing. A lot of people wait for other people to remove themselves out of their lives. They could be messing with somebody that they don't really like. And they're like, okay, I'm going to just wait until this person remove themselves from my life. When in reality, you can easily take yourself outside of their life. Like, if you really held yourself accountable and you was very aware, you would be like, I'm waiting for this person to remove themselves from my life. But in reality, I could just remove myself from their life. And it could be way more easier or way more quicker. Because that person that you don't like, they're not going to remove themselves from your life. They probably like doing you wrong, or they probably like treating you like shit. You have to take the initiative to remove yourself outside of their life, or remove them outside of your life. You feel me? Just take the accountability and remove yourself first. Do not wait for them to remove themselves. You have to remove yourself. You have to take the step into a better path. You have to take the step into a better alignment. So really accept that you're not living the life that you want to live because you're not taking the actions you're supposed to take. And if you really wanted it, if you really wanted that luxury lifestyle, if you really wanted them cars, the super yacht, the penthouses, the this, that, you would be taking proper actions beforehand. But a lot of people, they just like blaming life, or they just like blaming things like it's not in my control. When in reality, everything is in your control. It's your life. You control what you do in your life, unless you allow outside influences to do that for you. And even at that point, you're still allowing outside influences. You're allowing, meaning you took that initiative to allow outside influences to change your life and to change your course, which still comes back to your accountability. Your level of accountability is probably low, which made you allow, because at the end of the day, if you do not allow yourself to be influenced to do something, you're not going to do it. But you're not going to understand that until you raise your level of accountability. So really accept that the life that you're living right now is because of the actions you took beforehand. And if you don't like the life that you're living right now, or if you're not living the life that you want, it's because you're poor action taking beforehand. And that might come with some feelings, ain't lie. And that probably is the only feeling I would tell you to accept. The feeling of not living the life that you want because you did not take the actions you were supposed to take. Because that's going to make you want to take the actions you're supposed to take. That's going to make you want to hold yourself accountable more. I mean, you feeling down, you feeling stupid because you did not take the actions beforehand. That's going to sharpen your mind, and that's going to sharpen your focus, and that's going to make you want to take better actions. That's going to make you want to have better judgment. That's going to make you want to have more awareness. You feel me? Because you understand that I'm not living the life that I want because I did not put myself in a position to live the life that I want. You feel me? I was just living life and I was just doing things just to do it until shit hit the fan. And now it's like, damn, I could have been living a better life. But ask yourself, were you making better choices? You feel me? You really have to ask yourself, were you making better choices? If you wasn't making better choices, you're not going to be living a better life. If you wasn't making the choices to lead you to the life that you want, you're not going to live the life that you want. And you're never going to live the life that you want if you don't hold yourself accountable to a high point, like the highest level that you can reach. And you have to work your way there, or you have to force yourself to have a high level of accountability. You feel me? You really have to push yourself to say, like, damn, this is my fault. Like, and how can I go about this knowing that this is my fault? How can I change this knowing that this is my fault? How could I have prevented this knowing that this is my fault? How could I not place myself in a position for this to happen knowing this is my fault? You feel me? So you really have to accept everything in your life. Blame everything on yourself. And yes, it will take a mental toll on you, but understand that you either remove the emotions and take the accountability, or use that emotion or use that feeling to push you into a better space, a better mindset, a more sharper focus, or a better judgment in general. Because you're just going to keep doing the same things. You might take the accountability, but you might brush off the emotions so you won't feel bad. So you're just going to keep doing it, and you're going to keep taking accountability, but you're not going to feel bad. Sometimes you really have to feel bad for the poor decisions you did in the past for you to do better decisions in the future. Until you really take that accountability and be like, damn, the life that I'm living right now, it's not good because the actions I took beforehand wasn't good. You feel me? The result that you're getting today is from the work you put in the other days. The result you're going to get tomorrow is determined by the work you're putting in today. That's the highest level of accountability. Blame everything on yourself. You can't control what happens tomorrow, but you can control what happens today. You can put yourself in the best position ever by holding yourself accountable and understanding that every decision matters. Every decision is a make it or break it. You're either making a great decision or you're making a wrong decision. There's actually no middle. You feel me? That's something I had to realize too. You feel me? Because I hold myself accountable, but it's sometimes I'd be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. And then eventually I get the repercussions of what the fuck I just did. And I'll be like, damn, I should have never did that. And yes, that helps me because it raises my level of awareness. It betters my decision making because I understood that I did not listen to my intuition that told me this is not a good decision. You could do a better decision. But I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways. And then I get what comes with it. And then I'll be like, damn, I have to better my decision. I have to better my focus. I have to better my position. You feel me? I have to sharpen my mindset. I have to hold myself more accountable. Because like I said, even if you hold yourself accountable, if you don't take in the feelings, you're not supposed to beat yourself up about it, but acknowledge the feelings and take it in a little so you can feel what it feels like when you don't do the right decision. Feel me? Sometimes you gotta feel bad about doing the wrong decision to do the right decision. Sometimes you gotta feel bad about somebody disrespecting you so you can feel good about you removing yourself from that person's life or from that person's presence. So understand that everything is your fault. This is your life. Everything is your fault. Yes, as a kid, you probably didn't have that much awareness, but as you grow older, you can have the highest level of awareness and accountability to the point where everything is your fault. Your childhood is just that, your childhood. Like, yes, you probably went through some shitty shit. I went through some shitty shit, but I came to a realization that I'm going to keep going through shitty shit if I don't take accountable for my life, if I don't hold myself accountable. my life and my decisions and my poor decision making, or if I don't remove myself from certain environments or from certain people or from certain, like, whatever. You have to take accountable for your life and tell yourself, like, yeah, my childhood was probably shitty, but I'm now in a position, or I'm now at an age where I'm able to hold myself accountable. You feel me? Or I'm now at an awareness level, or I'm now at a mindset level where I am able to hold myself accountable and do better decisions and put myself in better positions. Even if something happens that's not in your control, accept it and put the blame on you. Because if you don't, you're not going to have that urgency to become more aware of what the fuck just happened so you can prevent it from happening again. You feel me? If you was more aware, you probably could have placed yourself in a better position for this not to happen. Your low level of awareness probably placed you in that position for that bad thing to happen. But until you hold yourself accountable, you're never going to want to be in a better position because you feel like life just happened. You know, this thing that just happened, it just happened. It wasn't in my control. I can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. Let's move on. And then it happens again. You're like, damn, this thing happened again. Well, it's just life. It's just going to keep happening, I guess. I can't do nothing about it. But in reality, if you had put yourself in a better position, it would never have happened. If you had a higher level of awareness, it would have never had happened. If you had a better sense of judgment and decision making, it would never have happened. You feel me? So you really have to hold yourself accountable to prevent things from happening and for you to be in a better position so bad things can't happen to you. Or for you to be the furthest away you can be from bad things happening to you, you know, because bad things gonna happen regardless. You know, life happens sometimes. But if you hold yourself accountable, you can prevent it from happening again and you cannot be in a position for it to happen again. Because a lot of things that happen in our life is from the previous actions we took beforehand. You know, because karma is real, but there's also good karma. There's bad karma, but there's also good karma. Like I said in the beginning, people are okay with accepting the fact that they're living life that they want because they took the actions. They did the right moves. They did the right judgment. They did the right this. They did the right that. But when things go wrong, they're quick to blame somebody else, or they're quick to blame life. But in reality, the same way you accepted the good, you have to accept the bad. So yeah, there's good karma and there's bad karma. When good karma comes, people be like, yes, I'm doing my thing. It's because of me. I made this happen. I did this. I did that. But when bad karma comes, it's like, damn, I don't deserve this. What's going on? I didn't do nothing for this to happen. But in reality, you did. Because everything comes back. Everything comes back. What you did yesterday is going to come back today. So that's why you have to live positive. You have to live in a mindset where you know that what you're doing today is going to affect tomorrow. You can't control what happens tomorrow, but you know it's going to affect it. And you can put yourself in the best position for the best thing to happen to you. You feel me? If you're not in the best position, you're not going to get the best outcome. And you're not going to get the best outcome if you're not holding yourself accountable. So it all adds up. And also remind yourself that the old you is still inside of you. It didn't go nowhere. You're just overpowering it day by day. If you stop overpowering it, if you stop giving it the energy it needs, the old you is going to creep back up on you. And like I said, once you're on your journey to really changing, you're going to be faced with things that want you to go back to the old you. It's going to test you to see if you're really doing the work or if you're just talking. And it's not like you're not going to slip up. You might slip up, but how fast do you catch yourself? And how fast do you realign yourself? And how fast do you better your mindset? How fast do you focus on how fast do you sharpen your awareness or your judgment? You feel me? Because you can easily blame somebody else for something that happened, or you can take accountable and remind yourself that, damn, this old habit that I just did is because I let my old self overpower my new self. So always remind yourself that the old you is always inside of you. It's just waiting on you to slip up. If you slip up, it's going to be a real bad thing. One decision could take you to the moon, or it could bring you down. One decision could make you a millionaire, or it could make you in a whole bunch of debt. One decision could better your life, or it could make your life way worse. Like, understand that. Every decision matters. Every move matters. But it's up to you how much accountability you want in your life. But your level of accountability determines the outcomes in your life. Because you understand that you control your life. So if you don't get the outcome out of your life, It's because you did not take the accountability beforehand. You did not do the proper moves beforehand. You did not take the proper actions. You did not have the proper judgment. You feel me? The proper decision making beforehand. But yeah, I'm ElyJoz. I'm grateful you allowed me to clear a part of your brain today. Peace and prosperity to you all. I'm out.